Okay, so you're prepping for this interview, right?
Yeah.
Employment and vocational integration consultant.
hmm
It's a big one. But also a job that can make a real difference. And luckily, we've got RoleCatcher's resources to help us out. They've got this whole AI platform, super detailed career guides, and a ton of potential interview questions. So this deep dive, it's about more than just knowing the answers. It's about showing them you're passionate and knowledgeable.
Yeah, what's really interesting about this kind of interview is it goes beyond the typical, like, tell me about yourself stuff.
Right.
They really want to see how you handle those real situations, how you connect with people and how you stay kind of ahead of the curve in a field that's always changing.
Exactly. So let's just jump right in. Let's look at some of those tricky questions that RoleCatcher flagged for us.
Okay, sounds good.
The first one up is, how do you stay up to date with the latest employment and vocational integration trends?
Yeah. This is your chance to really show that you're not just clocking in and out, you're invested. They want to see that you're genuinely interested in this world. So, think about workshops, conferences, seminars you've attended, maybe even online courses, webinars, anything like that.
Yeah, the staying updated section of the guide is amazing for this.
Right.
Mentioning publications you subscribe to or even thought leaders you follow online really shows dedication.
Absolutely.
But I imagine they dig a little deeper,
Yeah.
right? They ask, can you give me a specific example of a recent trend you've learned about and how you've incorporated it into your work?
Okay, so now you're talking. This is where you got to show, not just tell.
Right.
So, did you learn a new technique for writing resumes?
Yeah.
One that appeals to those AI screening tools?
Oh, good one.
Or have you, changed your approach to working with clients from diverse backgrounds? Maybe something based on some new research?
Yeah.
Be ready with a concrete example. Show them you're proactive about learning new stuff.
Okay, love that. Next question. Describe your experience with developing and implementing employment and vocational integration programs. Now, not everyone will have spearheaded these huge programs, right?
True, but think broadly. Maybe you started a new outreach strategy at a nonprofit, or maybe you revamped the way your company onboards new hires. Even volunteer work counts. If you've helped individuals with job prep, that's valuable experience.
hmm
The key is to show that you take initiative.
You can make an impact.
Exactly.
I bet they're going to want to know about the bumps in the road, too. What if they ask, what were some of the challenges you faced during the implementation process, and how did you overcome them?
Ah, yes. Everyone loves a good comeback story.
Right.
So have a specific story in mind. Maybe a program hit a snag, or a client was really struggling. Or maybe you had to convince, a skeptical stakeholder.
Oh, I bet that happens a lot.
Yeah. Focus on how you use your problem-solving skills, your creativity, even just your sheer determination to turn things around.
I love that. This is where those soft skills really shine through. Okay, let's talk diversity. The question is, how do you ensure successful job placement for clients with diverse backgrounds and needs?
All right. So this is all about showing empathy, understanding that one size doesn't fit all.
hmm
Talk about how you tailor your strategies to each individual, considering things like their background, their language skills, any challenges they might be facing.
And this is where I think RoleCatcher's AI can come in handy.
Yeah, for sure.
Their database, it doesn't just list jobs, it actually analyzes trends and employer preferences,
Yeah,
helping you guide those clients towards opportunities that are truly inclusive.
exactly. And, be prepared for a follow-up question. Like, can you share an example of a time when you successfully placed a client with unique challenges into a fulfilling job?
Yeah.
Have that story ready, the one that really highlights your sensitivity and commitment to finding the perfect fit.
Okay. Question 4. How do you measure the success of employment and vocational integration programs? It's got to be more than just counting how many people got jobs, right?
Absolutely. Think long term. Are clients staying in those jobs?
Yeah,
Are they moving up? Are they happy?
good point.
Mentioning these things shows that you're thinking about sustainable success, not just quick placements.
And RoleCatcher's scope principle is really relevant here, too.
Yeah.
It's all about those suitable opportunities that really align with the person's background and aspirations. You can even quote that directly.
Great point. And get ready for a data-driven follow-up question. They might ask something like, what specific data points do you collect to track program effectiveness, and how do you actually use that data to make improvements?
Ooh, yeah.
They want to see that you're analytical and results-oriented.
Okay. Time to talk about those employer relationships. Question 5. How do you build relationships with employers in the community to help place clients in jobs? This is where you become, the ultimate networker.
You got it. So think beyond just handing out resumes, right?
Mm-hmm.
Mention attending industry events, connecting with people on LinkedIn, maybe even organizing workshops to really showcase what your clients can do.
Yeah.
And RoleCatcher has this huge database of employers, over 9 million, which can really help you target the right companies.
Wow. Okay, now let's say they ask, can you give me an example of a successful partnership you've developed
Yeah.
with an employer and how it benefited your clients?
All right, well, this is your time to brag a little. Highlight a win-win situation. One where you connected an employer with the perfect candidate. Maybe they were struggling to fill a skills gap. This shows that you're not just placing people, you're solving problems for businesses too.
That's smart. Okay, let's move on to a question that's all about resilience. Can you discuss a time when you had to overcome a challenge in placing a client in a job?
Okay, so everyone faces setbacks, right?
Yeah, for sure.
The key is to show how you learn from them. Pick a situation where you had to be creative. Maybe you had to advocate for your client, or even challenge your own assumptions.
I can imagine.
And then, what did you learn from that experience that makes you even better at what you do?
And be ready for them to ask, what did you learn from that experience and how does it shape your approach to client support? They want to see that you're constantly growing and evolving.
Exactly. Reflecting on those past challenges shows that you're committed to improving, which is so important in this field.
Okay. Let's tackle another question that tests those organizational skills. How do you stay organized and manage your caseload effectively?
All right, so this is where you showcase your systems and processes. Maybe you're a color-coded calendar person. Maybe you love spreadsheets. Whatever your method is, highlight how you prioritize tasks, track progress, and make sure that no client falls through the cracks.
But what about when things get really, really hectic? They might ask, describe a time when you had to manage competing priorities from multiple clients. How did you approach the situation?
So this is all about showcasing how you handle pressure.
Mm-hmm.
Did you have to, reprioritize tasks? Did you delegate responsibilities? Did you have to communicate proactively with clients to manage expectations? Show them that you can handle the heat.
You can still deliver.
Yes.
Okay, ready for a question that really puts your advocacy skills to the test.
Let's hear it.
Can you discuss a time when you had to advocate for a client in the workplace?
Ah, okay. So this is about going above and beyond just job placement. Sometimes clients need support once they're in a role. Maybe they're facing discrimination or they're struggling to adjust. Maybe they're having communication issues with their supervisor. Highlight a situation where you stepped in to help a client navigate a really tricky workplace situation.
Yeah, and I bet they'll want to know the details. Be ready for a follow-up like, what were the key steps you took to advocate for your client and what was the outcome of the situation?
Right. They want to see those problem-solving skills in action. Did you mediate a conflict? Did you connect the client with resources? Show them that you're not just a job placement expert. You're a champion for your client's well-being.
Okay. Let's move on to question 9, which is about those ever-present competing priorities.
Mm-hmm.
How do you balance the needs of multiple clients with competing priorities? This is another chance to highlight those organizational superpowers.
It is. So think about your strategies for staying on top of things. Do you use time blocking techniques?
Yeah.
Do you break down large tasks into smaller steps?
That's a good one.
Do you have a system for checking in with your clients regularly?
Yeah.
To see what they need and adjust your approach.
And they might throw in a curveball, like describe a situation where you had to make a difficult decision about prioritizing client needs. What factors did you consider and how did you communicate your decision?
Okay, yeah, that's a tough one. But it's about demonstrating your ethical decision-making skills. So were there deadlines involved? Did you have to consider the urgency of different situations? Show them that you can make those tough calls fairly and transparently.
I like that. Okay, final question for this round. Can you discuss your experience working with community partners to support employment and vocational integration? This highlights the importance of collaboration.
Right. So think about any organizations that you've partnered with to provide kind of wraparound support for your clients. This could be social service agencies, schools, government programs, nonprofits that focus on workforce development, anything like that.
You might want to dig a little deeper with a question like, what are some key factors you consider when identifying potential community partners, and how do you cultivate those relationships?
Yeah, so this is about showing your strategic thinking and your relationship building skills. Do you look for partners who fill specific gaps in services? Do you attend community events to network and build connections? Highlight your proactive approach to building that support network.
Okay, so we've covered 10 tough interview questions
Oh, yeah.
and how to totally knock them out of the park. But there's more to acing this interview than just memorizing answers,
Oh,
right?
for sure. You've got to demonstrate those core skills and qualities that make a great employment and vocational integration consultant. And we'll delve into those after a quick break. It's not just what you say in this interview, but how you say it.
Oh, okay.
You know, those core skills that the RoleCatcher Guide talks about. Things like social perceptiveness, active listening,
Right.
persuasion.
So I'm guessing social perceptiveness is more than just being, a people person?
Right. Yeah, exactly. It's about kind of being able to read between the lines, picking up on those subtle cues, the things that tell you what someone's really thinking or feeling. Like, are
Yeah.
they hesitant about a certain career path?
Interesting.
Or are they maybe hiding a skill that they don't think is valuable? Being able to really tune into those unspoken signals, that's crucial for building trust.
That makes sense. Yeah. And, guiding clients effectively.
And what about active listening? I feel like everyone says they're a good listener.
Well, it's more than just hearing the words, right?
Yeah.
It's about truly absorbing what someone is saying. Reflecting back their emotions, asking those insightful questions to show that you're really present in the conversation. Like, imagine a client is telling you about a job interview that went badly.
Yeah.
An active listener would acknowledge their disappointment, maybe even rephrase their concerns to show empathy,
Yeah, I can see
and
that.
then, help them analyze what went wrong and how they can improve for next time.
So it's about being supportive, not just like problem solving right away.
Right, exactly.
Okay, and then there's persuasion, which to me sounds a little bit, I don't know, salesy.
Yeah, I know what you mean. It's not about manipulating anyone, though.
Okay.
It's about really believing in your clients and being able to articulate their strengths, their potential to employers. Sometimes, you might need to reframe what they see as a weakness,
Yeah. And show it as, a unique asset.
like flipping it on its head.
Exactly. Or, maybe you'll have to convince an employer to take a chance on someone who doesn't fit the typical mold. It's all about being a passionate advocate.
I like that. So it's a combo of, like, clear communication, really believing in them, and maybe a little bit of, strategic storytelling.
Yeah, for sure.
But beyond these, like, soft skills, what hard knowledge do you need for this role?
Well, the RoleCatcher Guide really stresses the importance of staying current. Knowing about labor market trends, industry-specific requirements, training programs, you need to know, like, what fields are growing,
Yeah, that makes sense.
what skills are in high demand, and where those kind of hidden job opportunities are.
So I should be, like, reading industry publications,
Yeah.
attending webinars, maybe even stalking people on LinkedIn for insights.
Exactly. Yeah. And that's actually where RoleCatcher's AI can be really, really helpful.
Interesting.
Their platform analyzes like tons of job postings, and it can identify those subtle keywords and phrases that employers are looking for. So
Okay.
you can then help your clients tailor their resumes and their cover letters to, really address those specific needs.
So it's like having a cheat sheet for the job market,
Yeah, that's a great way to put it.
but one that's always updating itself.
That's it. And RoleCatcher's AI, it can also analyze your clients' interview responses, giving them personalized feedback, on their delivery, their content, even their body language. It's like having a virtual coach in your pocket.
That's really cool. Okay, let's shift gears a little bit. Let's talk about career paths. Where can this role lead? What's the future hold for, someone in this job?
Well, the guide mentions a few different possibilities.
Okay.
You could move up within an organization, into management, overseeing a team of consultants. Or if you're more of an entrepreneurial type, you could start your own firm.
Be your own boss.
Exactly. Set your own hours, choose your niche, the whole 9 yards. And there's also specialization. You could focus on a specific industry, like healthcare or tech,
Right.
or work with a particular population, like veterans or people with disabilities. Becoming a recognized expert in a niche area can be a huge advantage.
So there's room for both generalist and specialist. What about certifications? Are there any that would give me an edge?
RoleCatcher mentions a couple, like the Certified Employment Support Professional, the CESP, or the Certified Vocational Rehabilitation Professional, the CVRP.
Okay.
These credentials show your expertise and your commitment to the field. which can really make you stand out when you're applying for jobs or going for promotions.
Like leveling up your character in a video game,
Yeah, exactly.
but with like real-world benefits.
Right. And remember, this field is constantly changing.
Yeah, for sure.
New technologies are coming out, demographics are shifting, the economy is always in flux. All of these things are going to impact, how we approach employment and vocational integration. Staying curious, being adaptable, and really committing to lifelong learning, that's crucial in a field as dynamic as this one.
Okay, so we've covered a lot today. Interview questions, those core skills, career paths, even the role of AI. As we wrap up this deep dive, what's the one key message you want to leave our listeners with?
Well, this isn't just a job, it's a calling. If you're passionate about helping people reach their potential and find careers they love, then this is the field for you. Go into that interview confident, show off your skills, and remember, you're not just looking for a job, you're embarking on a mission to make a real difference.
Wow, powerful words. And with everything you've learned from RoleCatcher and the prep you've gotten from this deep dive, you're ready to ace that interview and step confidently into this amazing career. But before we sign off, I have one final thought-provoking question for our listeners. So we talked about how AI can, tailor resumes and analyze those interview answers.
Yeah.
But what about the bigger picture? How can technology like this actually change the way we connect people with careers, not just jobs?
Oh, that's a really great question.
Right.
Imagine AI that goes way beyond just matching skills to a job description, right?
Yeah.
It could actually look at personality traits,
Oh, wow.
interests, even someone's long-term goals.
So it could suggest careers people hadn't even considered,
Yeah, exactly.
opening up all these possibilities.
Exactly. Yeah, it could help people find hidden talents or passions, connect them with mentors in their field,
That's amazing.
even predict which industries are going to be booming down the line.
Oh, wow. It's like a career crystal ball.
It really is. And it's something to think about as you're going into this field, because as employment and vocational integration consultants, you're going to be right at the forefront of this whole evolution.
Yeah.
Using tech not to just put people in jobs, but to really empower them,
I love this.
help them achieve their full potential.
So you're not just prepping for an interview, you're getting ready to be a pioneer in this field.
Yeah.
It's really changing the future of work.
Absolutely.
Armed with these insights from RoleCatcher
Yeah.
and all the prep we've done in this deep dive, you're totally ready to make a difference.
That's right.
Go out there and be that champion for job seekers.
Yeah.
Help them navigate, this crazy world of work and find those careers that light them up.
Awesome.
Thanks for joining us on the deep dive.
Thanks, everyone.